and she is only 24 years old. Really, really, really incredible. And joining me now is someone who is breaking every stereotype about age and leadership. At the age of 24, she is already a financial planner, a boardroom-ready leader, and one of the youngest to complete the Connect Board Mastery Program. And Tsakani Mhlanga is going to be joining us. Welcome to you, Tsakani.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, and you?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome to the Out and About. I'm so excited to be having a conversation with you. Oh my word, you're so young. It's amazing. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Well, let's dig straight into it. Tsakani, at
Mm,
24 and already sitting in spaces where major decisions are made, what fueled
mm.
your ambition and discipline at such a young age?
So for me, I think it's just how I was raised. Just watching my parents raise us as hard workers. My siblings and I have never been kids that do like one thing. We were involved in every single sport that we could find, every cultural activity. So in that, we've just always tried to find opportunities and spaces where we can basically be there and learn. And then try to excel. For me, it's definitely just the people that have come before me. It's my parents, my older sister,
Mm.
just everything that they're doing and the encouragement that they've given me along the way.
I mean, already, the corporate space is so
Mm,
hectic already, and
yeah.
it's very male dominated, and many young professionals fear the boardroom because it feels intimidating. What did
Mm.
this program reveal about confidence, one, influence, and presence?
So the space is intimidating. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I feel like it doesn't matter how many times you go into the space, you're always going to be intimidated because every day is going to be new. So for me, you just always need to find your reason why. Why are you doing what you're doing? What is the like the five W's and the one H, like we learned in history in high school? What is your reason? Why are you waking up? Why are you even in this space? And I feel
Mm.
like once you have all those reasons, things like your confidence, you just use those reasons as a fuel, to just keep moving in everything. And you just find little things, not everything is going to make you feel comfortable in the space. So if that blue pen that they give you is going to give you that confidence that day, then use it. Use it as an anchor that day. And for me, just the influence of it all is just understanding the space that you're in. I feel like it's so important to understand the space that you're in, because then you'll understand the power that it has when you leave that certain space, and how are you going to now impact, people that weren't in that space on that certain day, or looking into being into that space. So I think for me, yeah, that's yeah.
Now, as I don't know, I mean, you're a planner and in the financial space, and
Mm,
that's already massive. As a kid,
yeah.
did you used to scribble a lot? What made you get to that point where you say, like, I want to be in the financial space? I mean, now we starting back to grade R, to primary school, to high school. Do you feel that the bug already bit you before you went to study?
It definitely did. I remember a story that my mom would always tell me, how her mother, my grandmother, would just look at me and just tell my mom how I'm so great with money. She's like, this girl's gonna be very good with money in the future.
were you the
And I
were
think
you the
for
minister of
me, yeah,
finance at a young age?
literally that is my, how did you know? That's my nickname back home.
Oh
um,
wow, that's
yeah,
crazy. I
literally.
have a niece that we call, she is the minister of finance. So
Mm.
okay, I'm listening.
You need, guys, every family just needs one, just to hold it down. So I think for me that's always been a thing. I don't know, I would say I'm not a good writer, but I prefer numbers.
Right.
So it was that, and then of course when I was applying, and I applied, did my BCom in finance at UJ, and then what drove me to the financial planning space is that I just wanted to help people, because there's just a lot going on in the
Mm,
world, in the country,
mm,
in our continent. And I was like, okay, I'm not a doctor. So I need to find a way to help people, but in my space.
absolutely.
And where I'm working now at JBL Wealth Management, this space really did open my eyes to what the financial planning sector really is, and just seeing how the other advisors just become family with, the clients, and just how everything on a personal, they don't just help them financially but also personally, because money is driven by like emotion. So
Yeah.
if you can get that in check or just regulate that, then you'll see now there's going to be a trend of people spending their money better. So for me, it was just genuinely my love for money and being
We
good
love
for
that.
with money, and just yeah, just wanting to help people. So just this was the perfect place to just merge those two.
Now, I mean, you're a financial planner, and how does your background in finance shape the leadership lens you bring into the boardrooms?
So I am still learning a
Yeah,
lot, and I think that's one of the most important aspects of being a leader is being open to learning,
yeah.
because you don't know everything. You don't know anything, actually. As soon as you get into a room with new people, you realize how much you're always going to learn. And for me, just being open to listening to other people's perspectives and listening to other people just in their experiences. So for me, I think it's just knowing when to just step back for a bit and just let other people lead and let other people take, the reins of either a meeting or anything, and just knowing when to play your part. I think that's very important, because sometimes you are more powerful by just sitting back and listening.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
sometimes you're more powerful when you have to say something. So it's just also knowing and learning when that is. I am definitely still learning that. So yeah, it's always just knowing that you're a work in progress as a person.
Oh, but that's beautiful. Now, what were some of the most powerful insights you gained from the Connect Board Mastery program?
So with this, so it was like a 3-day program. So
Mm-hmm.
2 days were online to just accommodate like people working and stuff. And then the last day we had it at Gibbs. So all of these days, we were given like a case study, and then we'd have certain questions according to that. So I was team Timon and Pumbaa.
Oh,
So
wow.
we were I know.
I
So we're
love that.
basically dissecting the Lion King in a corporate space, in a
What?
boardroom space.
That's
I
so
know,
interesting. Oh my gosh.
I know,
That
I
keeps it
know.
so
And we
bright
were
and light at the same time while you guys are dealing with some
exactly,
serious issues in order to
exactly.
actually scrutinize and dissect the assessment, you know?
Exactly. I was also very shocked because I'm like, obviously, I think everyone's watched this movie like 100 times, but never in my life would I say, oh, okay, Timon and Pumbaa here would be a director. Would they be the best directors? Probably not. So would you want them in that space? So that was sort of now like, so we were looking at the movie in terms of the Wells Fargo
What?
incident and the whole case. I know my brain
What?
was
Yeah.
we're looking at, in relation to that. And then I think what they taught us a lot is that, for me, what I've learned, even for before even going into the case study, is just how, like, things aren't as little as it seems. They're not as just, we shouldn't look at things surface level. I
Yeah.
think for me, it's like there's always these, like, I don't know, like Lion King has been here for like decades now. It's like there's always, and now this is like a new meaning to the movie,
Absolutely. You
So
you
it's just,
gave you looked at it with a different lens now.
exactly, I don't think I can ever watch it the same now. So it's just always finding, like, you can go back and you'll find something new. Go back and do an introspection. For me, it's like it's an introspection or just a view of like, okay, so last time, 2 weeks ago, it was like this. Well, now that I'm in a different space, what does it look like? And all of that, and going back and forth, and not looking at stuff from a surface level, because things aren't in a surface level. Everything is a bit deeper than we think. I mean, we don't want it to be all the time, and you don't always need to look at stuff like that. But sometimes it's like, okay, let me just take it a step further, and let me see, okay, where will I end up there? I think for me, that's definitely one thing that I learned, because we had amazing people in my group. They just taught me a lot.
Mm.
And it was crazy because they, like, when we met, they're like, we didn't know you were so young. And I'm just like, yeah, I had to learn fast now, because, you're dealing with people that have been in industry for so long. So for me, there's so many takeaways from this board connect program, and I do think that they definitely need to get more young people, because for me, going into the space now, I know what to do. You know, it's different from people who are already in the space. Then they still have an impact. But a young person, before you even go in, then you know what you're looking for. You know where already what your path should look like, because
Mm,
you know where you want to end up, because these are spaces you would never think you'd be in. You know, in high school, in matric, you think about finals, you never think you're going to be doing a connect board mastery
absolutely.
program,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
So for me, it's definitely just important to just get more young people, but we definitely do need the older generation there, because the wisdom you can't learn anywhere else but from their experience.
Now, I want you to take us back to your assignment, because
Mm.
for someone who's listening to this for the first time, like my reaction, I'm literally
Yeah.
blown away. you know, taking such a beautiful,
Mm.
simplistic story that is so
Yeah.
popular and it's so wildly celebrated. And I want to
Mm.
know, walk us through what was your discovery at the end of the day, looking at it from a lens of a financial planner, looking at Timon and Pumbaa. Do you know what I mean? So I want to
Mm.
understand
Yeah.
what was your discovery? What was the process?
Okay, so we got, okay, yeah, like I said, we were in group Timon and Pumbaa, and then
Mm-hmm.
you just get the case study of the Wells Fargo, where just a quick run through, it was just a company where they were just unethical altogether. They were giving out or opening, giving clients products that they didn't ask for. So they would basically try to inflate their books and make themselves look like they're doing better than they are. They were opening accounts for people that people weren't even aware of, so that the assets just looked like crazy big, and the books looked big, and the share price went up. You know, it was a whole thing, until they were reported, and then they were fined. I think around three something million. I could be
Wow.
wrong. It was probably definitely more. And then people were fired, and you know, whistleblowers, people who wanted to report, they were intimidated, or they were told, you know, to keep quiet. A lot of them lost their
Yes.
jobs. So it was just that toxic culture, and they just had very high targets for their team, and just their staff. Things that it's just like it's not attainable in a year to, you know, to get stuff like
Yes.
that. So that was just an overview of the company. So now, in relation to the movie, they wanted to ask what was Timon and Pumbaa's role in that. So each group had their own thing. So we had Timon and Pumbaa, there are others that had Mufasa. You know, what did Mufasa do that contributed to the failure of, you know, the company, or
Right.
the fines and everything. So with us, we figured out, well, Timon and Pumbaa in Lion King were basically like the advisors to Simba, you know?
Yes.
So we concluded that Timon and Pumbaa, we can see in the movie, were not that serious. They really didn't know like a lot of stuff. They were more of the, yeah, Akuna Matata, you know,
Step by
thing where it's like,
step,
no,
we'll just
don't
go with
worry.
it.
Yeah, you know, or like just go with it. Don't worry. It'll figure itself out. But now in the corporate space or in management, you can't be like that, because
mm.
like, so we figured out they were like the directors or internal controls, you know, it's like you can't be like that all the time, especially in the like the corporate space, because people rely on you, people rely on the systems that you should put in place and should be in place, which we figured out were not, you know. So you can't have a don't worry, we'll figure it out. There needs to be a system saying, okay, step one, if this happens, what do we do, and all of that, and how do we now also protect the anyone who's working below that management level. In this case would be like the directors or internal control. How do we then protect people, which would be the whistleblowers? How do we protect them where we are still doing well as a company, but we also have an ethical obligation, you know, to the clients and just to the industry as a whole. So that was just one of the outcomes that came.
Wow.
Like they were just unethical. They probably need training, or they
Yes.
probably need to just be removed and be replaced with people that are more competent, because they were clearly not fit for the job, or they were someone, you know, they got in Gary back door, and someone's just like, I
And that
know a
never
friend.
works.
No, it doesn't work because it
Yeah,
shows in situations like this, that people don't know what they're doing. And this is the result now of just having people that don't know what they're doing. So get people
sure.
that know. Then you'd rather get like a Rafiki, where Rafiki knew what he was doing. He would,
Wow. Okay.
he wasn't scared also of Mufasa. He wasn't scared of him. As much as Mufasa was the king, he wasn't scared. He would tell him, like, no, like, this is wrong. You shouldn't do this. And you need advisors that are not scared of you. You need people that are going to tell you the truth no matter what and hold you accountable. Because accountability was one of the biggest things in that whole Wells Fargo um, the whole scandal. Like no
Yeah,
one was taking
yeah,
accountability, no one wanted to. And how could you if you have a Timon and Pumbaa who's helping to run the company, and you
yeah.
need a Rafiki.
Absolutely,
So
because
yeah.
he's definitely, the perfect advisor
Mm,
to have.
yeah.
Wow, your discovery, because I've got a very photographic memory, so I'm literally going scene by scene.
Yes.
And as you were talking
Mm,
about, I'm like, wow, I never looked at it like that. But this is so,
yeah.
so, so
Yes.
interesting. If you just joined us exactly 9:34, just almost 25 to the top of the hour. We have on our with us as our guest Tsakani Mhlanga. She is 24 years old and she's a financial planner and a graduate of Connect Board Mastery Program. And it's really, really incredible to be with her. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, in continuing our conversation, your peers in this cohort are older,
Mm.
seasoned professionals. How did you hold your own, and what was the biggest mindset shift for you?
Um, Well, everyone was really nice. I won't lie. Everyone was really nice. They were very welcoming. Like there wasn't an age thing, as you would get in a normal corporate space. So I think that definitely just made things a bit easier. And again, I think because I've been just in like a lot of different spaces. And my older sisters also taught me this thing of just going in there and just like if you have to just put on an act, put on your jacket, and just walk in there. You could be nervous and dying, but like don't let that stop you or let people see that or whatever. And then you'll eventually get into it. You'll eventually get comfortable. So for me, going into that space, I just wanted to learn from them. I think that was the things that I wanted to learn from them because again it's their wisdom that I'm not going to get anywhere else, especially from so I was sitting next to a black lady. She's also working, she's in a boardroom spaces and all of that, and she was just like giving me tips and saying, okay, what are you doing, just the normal conversation. And for me, she's just like from that I took away so much. She was just telling me like, this is how you do it. These are the mistakes that we made. Because she was telling me the mistakes that she made when she was coming up and she didn't know, of that whole lift as you rise thing, like lift people as you rise, connect people to whoever, help where you can, because she didn't do it alone. And she's like, I won't let you do it alone. And she even like gave me a number. She's like, if you need anything, here's my number. If you need some advice. So I think for me, because I was in a space with such nice people, it was really like, I wouldn't say it was easy, but it made it
Yeah,
easier. Yeah.
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 Well, firstly, I think we need to buy a few vuvuzelas for your sister to giving you that nudge. We just like have to do some huge bo 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 bo. Firstly. But secondly,
Mm,
I think you are testament to what I believe in. One has to be a student first.
mm,
And when I speak to
mm,
you, I get that sense. And this is what this journey has been about, because we can't play that game of, oh, okay, I'm young, oh, okay, they're older, because then we
mm,
never learn, right? We have to learn from each other. It's like a circular motion of learning
mm.
always. And I find that very, very interesting, and it's really, really special in terms of where you come from and where you are going in the space. Now, what advice would you give to young South Africans listening to us, who want to step into leadership but don't know where to start?
Ooh, that is a very interesting question. um, for me, I think, of course, it's all different and stuff, but for me, any opportunity that you get, please take it. Like, take it and run with it as far as you can. don't be like, oh, ugh, it's just a normal 3 day program, I'm not going to take it seriously. But it's not even about the program, it's about all the other things on the side. So for me, it's just, especially in a leadership space, I think young people need to understand that you're not always going to lead. Like, you're not always going to be a leader in every space. You're not going to yeah, you're not going to lead in every space, and that's okay. Like, you need to allow yourself to also be led, because that's where you learn. You're not going to learn anything for being in front, because who are you looking to? Like, everyone's looking at you, but when you're in front, like, who are you looking at? Like, who's guiding you? You understand? So I feel like for me, I understand right now that I still am going to be led, and I'm very welcome. I welcome that, with open arms, but also
Yeah,
understanding that not everyone is a leader. So you must also
absolutely.
just be careful. Yeah, so you must also just be careful, the ones who claim to be, and then they're going to lead you in a space where it's not right. So for me, that's why, again, just your why. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? Is this space for you?
Yeah,
And those are the things that should be leading you and guiding you. And for me, it's just networking. Hey, like, you can be in McDonald's or whatever, and you just see the person next to you, you don't know who that person is. Like, you don't know what they have or who they know or anything. So just always carry yourself, like my sister always says, as a brand. Like, you are a brand. She's always like shouting at us, like, you are a brand. So just carry yourself as a brand. Obviously it's not, don't be pretentious and like act and stuff, but
yeah,
just be what you'd want to buy. Would you want to buy yourself? Would you want to go to a
absolutely.
store and pick yourself off the shelf? And for me, if you can answer that question, or if you try to at least get to that answer of yes, then I think then you know that you're doing the right thing, or you're working towards something
Yeah,
good for yourself. Because again, it's your life, and your name is there on your birth certificate and your ID and your license, so it must be
absolutely.
for your own success. Yeah.
Oh man, this is so beautiful. This is something
Thank you.
what I want to ask you. It's something on the surface, and I guess it would need another day to communicate or talk about. I guess
Mm,
it's a
yeah.
conversation for another day. But on the
Yeah.
surface, with your experience thus far, what are we
Mm.
doing wrong as people in terms of financial planning and stability?
Yeah. So for me, this is even just with my own family, my own friends. What I've seen already is that we think that saving specifically, you need to start saving with a large amount. Like, you don't see that saving even that 1 rand is already 1 rand more than 1 rand more you would have than if you spent it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like starting small and you build yourself up. There's no bracket to financial planning. There's no tax bracket that, is only should only have financial planners or only have financial
Oh,
planning.
thanks for that
You start
honesty.
now with that nothing. Yes. So you start with that nothing that you have now to build something, because how are you going to get to something with nothing, you know? So for me, I think that was a big thing. It's just like, whatever you can save, save it. And just also, you need to have a healthy relationship with money. And again, that is going to be very hard, especially in South Africa with everything that's happening, and just Africa in general, how we do struggle. Our economies are struggling a bit, but just try to have a healthy relationship with money. Every week, just put something aside, and because unfortunately the rainy day will come,
Yes.
and we want to be prepared for that. You don't want to put yourself in so much debt for something that you could prepare for, something that you could see. Of course, we don't wish for these things to happen, and you know what, if it doesn't happen, well, then great, because now you also just have that money there. Like, I want to start doing these international trips every year, so I know now, with the bonus I'm going to get, probably don't touch it, because I don't want to now put myself in a situation next year where, I'm saving every little cent, but I had this lump sum of money that I didn't expect, and instead
Yes.
just put that away, you know. And we all know how January is, where everyone comes back, and now we're all like, ish, it's just a bit touch and go. Save now. Like, November, use this November salary to try and do as much as you can, so that when the December salary is here, you've already done a lot for December with November.
Oh, that's smart.
So yeah, so that's what I do. Is like, I've been buying people's gifts, I've been trying to put things aside. I'm like, I'd rather have it wrapped and put in a corner, because when my December salary comes, that needs to last me until the end of Jan. So I can't
Absolutely.
touch that
Yeah.
until the 1st of Jan. So you already now you know that, try and work through the stuff that you have. And again, not everything's a priority, and just relook at your just adjustments. Yeah, you just need to make some few adjustments. It's very hard, speaking for myself as well, but yeah.
I love the fact that you speak from your own experience, So,
Yeah.
and I hope that, this financial relationship or our relationship with money, I hope
Mm,
moments such as, the pandemic has created a
yeah.
different relationship for us with money.
Mm,
And also, I also really,
mm,
really love the fact that you say that, you are basically saying there's nothing wrong with spending. I love that. But which point
yeah.
and which time? It's a timing thing. You say
Yes.
November is the best time to spend, or maybe even October, and then December, that's when you save in order to survive January, because we know January can really be tough. So I love that. I think that's an
Mm.
incredible advice. And finally, what's next for Tsakani Mhlanga? What boardroom door are you opening next?
Um, that's a very good question. I think for once I will take Timon and Pumbaa's thing. For
Oh
the rest of the
man,
year, I'm
that
just
thing has
gonna
just
Akuna
literally blown my
Matata
brains
right
out.
now.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing.
Um, for the rest of the year, I think I'm just going to just see where it takes me. Just try and wrap up a few things that I'm doing, and then finish my CSE so I can get certified as well. But yeah, just keep growing and just keep learning and finding myself and finding opportunities where I can just make a difference, or someone can just impact my life as well, and just yeah.
Oh man, Tsakani, you are so special. You are wonderful.
Thank
You
you.
have such a beautiful energy, and I do wish you
Thank
all the
you.
best. And I thank you so much for all the fruits and the nuggets that you shared with us today. And listen, I'm not gonna look at Timon and Pumbaa the same way. Yeah, going
Yeah,
forward.
no, me neither. I
Yeah.
need to
No,
add people to
those.
this now.
I'll try my best never to work for people like Timon and Pumbaa. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
no.
and keep the Rafikis around, as our
Yeah,
planners,
no,
So
honestly.
so thank you so much, because things like that for me, I take and I run with it like
Mm,
it's gold. So listen, I've learned so
mm.
much from you, and keep doing what you're doing and keep shining. And thank you so much for making the time to be with us.
Of course, thank you so much for having me. And the show is sounding great.
Thank you so
And have a
much.
great, great day. And thank you to everyone for listening.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to Nzago, a true example that leadership has no age limit. South Africa, keep an eye on this powerhouse. She is coming. She is coming. Actually, she's not coming. She's here. She's here, and she's going to keep going, keep going. Take what she takes, learn this and that along the way, suck it in like a sponge, execute it, and just keep flying. And then she just stops again and sucks in and sponges everything in, learns, and just keeps flying higher and higher. I love people like that, because that's how I think. I love the process, because I call the process or the making of something like the sponge effect. That's me. So that's why this was just so beautiful. So thank you so much to Tsakani. What an incredible conversation. It's exactly 9:46 right here on Channel Africa. My name is Kitty Phetla, standing in for Buleng right here on Out and About. Don't forget to find us on OpenView HD on channel 628, and then on DSTV Audio Bouquet at channel 802. www.channelafrica.co.za is where we are on our streaming platform. That's our website, where you can find absolutely everything that is related to Channel Africa. And Channel Africa 1 is where we are on our social platforms. Keep the voice notes coming on +27 63406 9126. In about 10 minutes, we're going to be having the news with Matabelo Mohabi. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick dance break. Okay.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.